everybody, this is Chris Keys for Premier Guitar. I'm at the 2025 NAMM show, joined by Eli of 2Rock and Corey Congilio, Mr. YouTube, fantastic content creator. We love him. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. Loving the 3-day platform.
Yeah, I dig that.
This being the last day, it's nice to go home. I still have a little bit of voice in me for once, so it's good.
I feel that too. I'm ready to go home, but it's also I'm still semi-glad to be here.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some cool gear.
Yeah, this year, really cool show. Last year we announced we had acquired Divided by 13.
Yeah.
This year we have them all up and running and going. We had our friends from Japan come and share a booth with us at Vemarin, so it's been a lot of fun to have them with us and us here, and it's been great. And we did a Silver Sterling Signature combo, which is the first time we've done a combo. We keep getting requests from lap steel players and country guys and stuff to do the combo, and put it together, and I'm just floored by how great it sounds, and we fell in love with it.
Did you have to do anything circuitry to, better complement the cabinet, or is it open back, closed back? Yeah,
it's an open back cabinet. We redesigned this cabinet specifically for the Sterling, so bigger body, a little bit deeper, all of that. It just added, it sounds great, it's fun. But we left the amplifier the same.
And what should we know about speaker choice?
This has our speaker that we have built for it. Okay. This one is 100 watts, so it has our 100 watt T-Rock speaker, TR12 in it.
Well, Corey, while I have you here, what's been your experience playing this amp with it in the combo format?
The biggest, robust, clean sound of all time. But with all of the sort of bells and whistles that you kind of want in, like if you play a twin or you play a Fender that's the low end is too frumpy, he built this high cut and low cut thing into it that takes all the mud out of just like the bottom two strings, but then also if you're playing a Strat or a Tele through it, you can really massage the high end in a way that's different than just a treble or a presence control too, which is really cool. For those of that real audiophiles know that you can do a lot with a high cut and a low cut. So to have that in the amplifier is pretty clutch. Yeah.
Now, can you walk us through some, Corey play, and you can try to point out some highlights of the amp and kind of turn some knobs so we get different vibes for it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let you play and you can.
Yeah, it's just kind of set up the way we did it for the video, just so you know, we come here about 15 minutes before they show up and we do it. It's
one of the prepared ones.
Yeah, 15 minutes means preparation, sure. But yeah, just kind of got a clean sound. It's what we think we've all heard, but there's inherently always an amazing feel with the 2Rock amp. They're meant to be played. This has a weird thing in the sense that it's fast and soft at the same time. Well, some amps are usually softer feel and faster feel. This kind of feels both to me, which is pretty special. And the thing about most of these amps is that when you want a clean boost, you don't have to buy one. It's already built into your amp with the FET boost. So if I'm playing, get a little bit of that breakup, and it's hitting the front of the amp, so it's right there. It's hitting everything in the tone stack. And he's been nice enough to open up amps on my kitchen table, at my house, and he's like, see, it's almost like a pedal built in there. It's really cool.
Eli, the thing that I like about your designs is they let the guitar shine through, where sometimes amps character the color of the tone of the guitar a little too much, and they're indistinguishable when you change guitars. I guarantee if we had a different guitar here, humbuckers, P90s, it would sound different based on this kind of being a cleaner platform.
Yeah, absolutely. We put a lot of work. Maple neck, rosewood neck, Strat Tele, you hear it. These amps are a commitment to play because you have to work out. The good news is you hear everything, but the bad news is you hear everything. So it's all about those little nuances and stuff in there. So you're absolutely right. It's that extra little 5%, and that's why so many players at Corey's level like it, because there's so much touch sensitivity, and it's those little things that make all the difference.
And what should we know about tubes inside here?
This one is 46L6. It's 100 watt. It's switchable to 50 watts. Takes two of the tubes out of the circuit, so it turns into a true 50 watt. Very, very fun amp.
So what's cool is not only do we have my favorite amps here, but we have pedals that I really like from Vemarin, and I've owned a few. I've owned Jan Ray, Shanks, and the one I connected with the most is the Buddy G, because it's not only a clean boost, but a light gain overdrive, which is my favorite. And this other amp we'll play later, literally my live rig is the Buddy G most of the time, and the TS1, which we'll play later. But it's, if you play it into a clean, real robust, clean amp, absolutely, yeah, but you still hear the guitar, you still hear all the wide range of frequencies. That's what you want out of a signal chain like that.
Well, let's keep moving down the line here, that TS1.
All right.
TS1 is one of our favorite amps. It's a 2-channel amp with a foot-switchable FET, foot-switchable lead, foot-switchable bypass. This one also has a full 2-buffered effects loop in the back that you can engage and have it send and return for it. It's one of our favorite models. Corey's been playing it live for the last couple of years and getting it dialed in. We just introduced this new pinstripe grille cloth that we're having. Yeah, we're having a guy build it for us. He does it in the industry, but it's just an amazingly beautiful cloth. Looks great, and wanted to showcase the amp because it's still one of our favorite amps in the lineup.
Were you saying it's the same company or same gentleman or same style of like the old Bluesbreaker stuff?
Exactly. It's the old vintage, E.C. Collins blues cloth, and it just looks amazing. He's a really good guy, and we're honored to be able to use it.
How'd you get introduced to him and get him into the fold and help making these things so cool?
He had reached out and we spoke, and he sent me some samples and just looked phenomenal. As soon as we got it, we're sticking it on so many amps now because it just looks amazing.
All right. Well, Corey, tell me what you've been enjoying about this amp. As Eli said that you've been playing it live a lot.
So I'm like, it's no secret I'm like a Robin Ford devotee. Like, he's one of my heroes. And when I saw him on that pedal show, and he was playing his Dumble and stuff, and I was like, I think my TS1 might do that kind of stuff. Why am I not playing it more? And then I started to really open it up and play it. It was just in the studio, and now it's my main gig amp. And honestly, like I said before, I use one overdrive pedal like the Vemaram into that because it's got this great overdrive on board. And the FET boost, like we talked about with the Sterling, and the bypass control just kind of gives you a lot of options in the amp. Two Rock amps have a lot of, it's like a Swiss Army knife, and if you take the time to really learn it, there's no sound you can't get out of it. I mean, you can't turn something into something it's not, but there's a bevy of tones in here that, I use all the time.
It's a very high-end, articulate Swiss Army knife.
Extreme, yeah, very articulate. So, just what I like to do, and I play a 335 all the time, so this is a really killer rig for me. And the thing about this circuit, it's faster feeling, and that's, Eli's been in my house, we've played a couple amps back to back, and he's like, I know why you like that, because like, to me, that plays all of my articulate hybrid thing. It just shoots it right back to me, which is an amazing thing. But what I like to do, I sometimes play with the bypass control on, which bypasses the tone stack. So it's like, more or less like you turned all the knobs all the way up on the treble middle bass, for lack of a better example. So that's like, the mids will bark a little more. And I'll often play with that on the whole time, and then, yeah, for sure. And then what I'll do is, and by the way, you watching at home, there's no reverb in this amp because it'd be yet another tube. So what they do is they put this 2-buffered effects loop, like Eli said, where a lot of amps out there don't have that. So what happens is if you're using delay and reverb in the loop, if you have a long cable run, that 2-buffered thing really keeps your signal strong and you're not losing anything from the cable runs, which will happen, which will happen. So once you do that, and you add the lead channel, got that chewiness, we say. Yeah, I gotta look at my hands sometimes when I play. I mean, I could play all night with that right there. So fun. Yeah.
What should we know about speaker in this one?
This one has the same speaker in it. It's our proprietary TR12 speaker. It's a 100-watt magnet, a little bit thinner paper. We love that speaker. We use it almost exclusively in all the amps.
Now, what do you guys use for your cabinets?
We have our own cabinet shop, so we build all of our own cabinets in-house. We build, at T-Rock, we build everything in-house, which is really fun.
What type of wood do you use for the cabinet?
That one's Baltic birch.
Okay. Cool. I know there's a third amp actually in the Divided By family. Want to check it out?
Yeah.
All right, last but not least, we have a new friend in the family, the Divided By. Tell me about that.
Yeah, Divided by 13 is an iconic brand that has been around forever. We became really good friends with Fred Tacone, and he wanted to sell the company. He was getting to the point that he wanted to retire, and called and said, "Do you know anyone that would be interested in possibly buying it?" And after thinking about it for a couple weeks, I'm like, you know what, that would be fun. Every time T-Rock has gone into the EL84, EL34 kind of amp, people go, that's not what a T-Rock is. And his circuits were so iconic, the look was iconic, that we're like, let's do it. So we're building them all in the same factory in Santa Rosa, same crew that's building the T-Rock are building Divided by 13. It just gives us the opportunity to keep Two Rock small. We don't want to grow it. We like that it's small and we get to touch everything and do the divided by and play with both amps. It's like so awesome to have such a cool company.
Now, you said that at Two Rock, you're still getting your hands on every amp that leaves the shop, right?
Yeah, we play test and voice everything that leaves the shop, and we are pretty geeky. There's Dungeons and Dragons, and there's like a step below, and that's kind of where we play with all of our components and stuff. So we definitely geek out on it.
Well, what do we have here specifically? The one that we got the 57 in front of.
This is a JRT 915. It's a really cool amp. It has two pentode 5871 tube front ends that are on at the same time. So one's a cleaner channel, one's a dirtier channel, and you can blend them together. So if you want a little bit more clean headroom, you just blend the clean channel in. You want to grid it up, you can blend that channel in. It has a tone control and cut circuit in it for each channel to kind of really dial it in. It's also switchable between 6V6s and EL84. And we're playing it through one of our 112 closed back cabinets.
Before we have Corey do a dance with it, I want to ask, what was, obviously you've known Fred's work based on what you've heard on all the records and, live shows that his amps have supported, but what did you learn or discover when you got in there and got under the hood?
It was a lot of fun. Fred's come out to the shop a couple times and looked at it, and he's been so complimentary. Like, I can't believe that you guys built to this quality. You guys are insane. So we're so meticulous. The circuits were wonderful. We did a lot of tweaks on the cabinet work, some face panels stuff. OCD kicks in. That's the benefit of us having everything under one roof, is we can just really massage it and make it good. So I think they look great and sound great. And Fred's happy, we're happy, and we're just excited. It's going to be a good time.
Corey, tell me what you dig about this amp, and let's hear it.
So this is, I actually played, did I play this the other night? Yeah, this is the one I played at a jam with some lesser known guitar players like Matt Schofield and Josh Smith and people like that. But it was, so I played this alongside Matt, and it was really, really fun. And it has, these amps have a sparkle that's more, British sounding to me on the top. And even though you can go between EL and 6V, there is that sort of chime that you might not hear out of the Two Rocks. Two Rocks are big glass, punchy, robust sounds. These have a different personality, So we can play around with that a little bit. Let's do it. Yeah, sure. So you hear that little, almost like falling apart on the top a little bit. Little NAMM tuning. Stay away from that string. But you can see it's like getting broken up really quickly, but really fun. I mean, you could play this amp at home or on a stage. It'd be really cool. So you can play around a little more. Also really touch responsive. And then we could change it to the EL84 side too. And that's where I hear that, I mean, like, you can really hear that this is a different personality. So I know that there's, out there in the internet sphere, there's a lot of people like, well, what are they going to do to it? They're going to make it like a smaller Two Rock. It doesn't sound anything like a Two Rock. Like, you could have an A/B switch and it would be completely different worlds with these two amps. In a perfect world, right? Yeah.
Well, it's awesome. Corey, I want to throw you a shout out to your YouTube channel. You do awesome lessons and content, so people should definitely check that out. What's the handle for that?
So it's just my name, but otherwise you can go to workingclassguitar.com and steal whatever it is I might have to offer, which is 4 or 5 licks probably, but
And Eli, he's the first.
I am.
Eli, what should we know about where to get information on either Divided By or Two Rock? Where should they go?
You can go to 2rock.com or dividedby13.com. Both websites are live and active, and Instagram, internet, anywhere PG. We advertise at PG, so it's always on the website and magazines, so just keep looking out.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much, and we'll check you out next time in the NAMM coverage.